He is also a BOS member in geography in SRT University, Nanded. He has published 5 books and he presented his research paper at Sri Lanka in November 2018. Sir also published various research papers in national and international journals. Under the guidance of Dr. Advitot sir, 5 students are awarded PhD degree in Solapur University, Solapur. Sir also completed 1 minor and 2 major research projects from different agencies. Sir also worked as MPhil and PhD referees in various universities of Maharashtra. He is also a member of various academic, social, professional, and NGOs. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Nimbargi sir. Now I request Dr. S.C. Advitot sir to deliver a lecture on global environmental issues in context to environmental resource management and human well-being.
Okay. May I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
May I? Okay, very fine. Good afternoon,
Yes.
one and all. Let me congratulate the principal of the college, my friend, Principal Dr. Bhanje sir, convener Dr. Deepak Dede sir, and all committee members of this international webinar. Friends, today we have 2 lectures. Eminent personality in the field of chemistry.
Hello, sir.
And
Hello, sir.
Hello.
हाँ सर, तुमची स्क्रीन क्लिअर दिसत नाहीये. थोडंसं मोबाईल समोर ठेवा.
आता? Now okay?
No, sir. No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
What is the problem, brother?
You are not visible properly, sir.
Just wait. Just
स्क्रीन वर गेलाय वर. हा चालू कर.
You are getting my voice?
Yes, yes.
Yes. You are audible, sir, but you are not seen properly.
Screen now.
Share your screen.
Right now I am sharing the screen.
Yes.
Is it okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very fine. So today we listen to important lectures on the pure sciences. They have given various new thought to us. So before starting my presentation, I would like to share the main theme of this institution, that is Solapur Jilla Samaj Mandal. Pramamev Jayate. Pramamev Jayate, it means that we always keep respect to our work. And another logo this institute is using, Sarva Dharma Samabhav, Shanti or Samata. So today I am also going to deliver the well-being, equality. These are all concept of my lecture today. I am not touching the important aspect which you so far covered by the today's personality. So therefore, today I decided to talk on global environmental issues in context to environmental resource management and human well-being. So keeping some slides, I am directly going to human well-being approach. And before that, very quick way, I am starting this presentation. This image might have known by each and everyone, this Greta Thunberg, a school-going girl. See, in one of the conference, that is UN Committee Climate Summit in New York, on 23rd September 2019, she asked the world leader, how dare you about the environment? The eyes of the future generations are upon you, and if you choose to fail us, I say, we will never forgive you. See, directly challenging the world leaders about the situation which is created in our environmental sector, and all of we know it very well. So Greta Thunberg, she running a movement called as a FIDE or future movement, and she is given also award for this activity. Two scholars have highlighted this slogan of Mahatma Gandhi: there is enough in nature for man's need, but not for man's greed. So keeping this one, this is another one. Earth is our mother. In spite of our desire to harm our mother, she will always love us forever. It is important quote which we academicians, students, we take for this one to keep our earth free from environment. So that is important thought. Now coming to the geography as one of the important discipline in the science faculty as well as in social science faculty, and we always correlate geography and environment, and this relationship we put in the form of two types of environment. Number one is physical environment. Number two is cultural environment. And physical environment, so far we learned so many things. Cultural environment also, we know each and everything. This physical environment, which we always talk about natural resources. What is the present scenario of natural resources at the global level? If you look to the screen, we will see that the green energy, in the morning people, scholars are talking about green chemistry. Now we are talking about solar energy, wind power as a green energy. Solar energy only we are using 6% when it is available to 100% to us. 23% water resource, 6% precious metal minerals, 8% crude oil, 12% land resources, 32% natural gases, 24% animal resources, 54% forest resources, wind power. So these natural resources, resources, and these natural resources now playing a vital role if we play our side in a positive way. Otherwise, it is not useful. So therefore, the importance of natural resources, when you look for this one, we know this it provides livelihoods for hundreds of millions of people and generates sizable tax revenue. Natural resource is one of the important aspects of our environment, and we are not taking care of that one, even though it is providing livelihood for hundreds of millions of people and a sizable tax revenue. How tax revenue is generated? One for example, I am giving this diagram. We are having agriculture sectors. More than 64% population is living in agriculture sector, and on the basis of agriculture sector, we are having agro industries, and these two sectors are generating tax to the government. And this tax collection, the amount which are collected from this sector, n number of sectors are there, but this natural resource, which generating the tax to the government, and they ultimately use for the betterment of the environment and human being. As a part of this one, renewable natural resources, as we know, these are various types of natural resources. On one side, we are talking about all these things, but on the other side, today I am focusing on inclusive, sustainable inclusive growth. That growth includes food security and poverty reduction. In next 2-3 slides, we will deal with these two important aspects. What is the present need of the hour? That is, we people are always listening, act locally and think globally. This change in thought process, what it gives us that number of countries have been acting locally and collectively as an international community to ensure the conservation and sustainability of the environment leads to sustainable growth. Why sustainable growth? Sustainable growth is essential for the helping the poor people, those who are below poverty and they are still living in poverty. And to uplift them, we have to sustain our environment in sustainable way. Now I am quoting one of the important world environmentalists. Earlier, this thought was created that world is divided into two ways. Earlier, the world will no longer be divided by the ideologies, left or right. But now, as per Wolfgang Sachs, he said that today we must acknowledge two thoughts. That is, one, either we have to accept ecological limits and those who do not accept this one. This acceptance and non-acceptance of the ecological limits is the big issue around the entire world. So therefore, this Wolfgang Sachs, he has given very important thought to keep our environment
very in important way. What is important is the 4 pillars of sustainability today at entire global level. We are thinking about these 4 important aspects of sustainability. Social sustainability, various social activities, public policies, whenever they announce, we always keep in mind and to look forward regarding the social aspects of these policies. Then another one is human activity, economic activity, and environmental activity. These all activities are, we are always looking through the point of well-being of the people. So I am always looking forward this global environmental challenges, and earlier slide what it shows that the 4 pillars of the sustainability. And all of us know this climate change, ozone depletion, and biodiversity. All are interacting, all are influencing each and other. And therefore, one can know the climatic changes which are happening around us, this ozone depletion in the air, atmosphere, and directly it affects on biodiversity. The image which you are looking, that image is also giving some information to you that gives you important one. What are the issues around us? As we know, each and everyone, that pollution of air, water, noise, and land. Number 2 is land degradation, loss of biodiversity, ozone depletion, climate change, loss of natural and cultural resources. These are the important environmental issue. As time is very restricted, and therefore I am only highlighting these one because I am interested to highlight the next last 2-3 slides. Now coming to the next one, that is environmental problems of global warming and climate change. What is the important impact of this one? Melting ice, that is rising in sea level, flooding and spread of diseases, threat of species, extreme weather condition, and forest fires. So these 3 are important one. I am very interested always. I spoke about these 2 movies which directed by a great showman of our industry, Raj Kapoor ji, about water pollution. One film he was directed, Jis Desh Mein Ganga Bahti Hai, and another film he directed, Ram Teri Ganga Maili. The title itself explains about the water pollution level, that is particularly water pollution in our country. Coming to the social causes of environmental problems, the last important aspect, that is development, industrialization, economic development, all these are there. But most important is the relationship between level of economic development and environmental pollution is always inversely proportionate. Therefore, the world is used here curvilinear rather than linear. It always one rises, one decreases. Like this, this graph explains about the relationship between pollution and development. As in the morning lecture, little bit we are aware about the importance of biodiversity, but from the economical point of view or social point of view, this biodiversity is now having number of hotspots around us, and these regions and significant levels of biodiversity is threatened by human habitation. What is important is now that on one side nature is doing his role, but on the other side we as a human being, we are encroaching the biodiversity and degrading the biodiversity directly and indirectly. So this biodiversity continues to decline as a result of habitat destruction and degradation. And last 50 years, the healthy ecosystem is totally declined, and therefore we always think about the human impact on biodiversity and our environment. See this image where the animals, the situation of animals is very worse, and due to the interference of human habitat rather than other things. So these things, this declining trend of forest, as we know it very well, and coming to the important aspect of our environment, that is land degradation, which is also very critical condition, and deforestation and poor agriculture practice which creates soil erosion, salinization, depletion, nutrient depletion in the soil, contributing to desertification. What is the situation around us? If you observe this image, this situation is, we observe most of the areas around us. So this fresh water supply is also seriously stressed. 1.4 billion people living in the river basin in which water use exceeds recharge rates. It means that recharge rates is very minimum. On the contrary, water used by the population is very high. This inverse proportion is creating severe problem and it affecting on land degradation. Then coming to the important theme, that is environment on one side, sustainable growth on the other side, and removal of poverty on the third aspect. Too much discussion at a global level is continuously going on, whether development or to keep the environment. These issues are debating all the time, and the new concept which is emerged. The development is also essential to keep the environment, protect the environment. It is also important. But what purpose? The purpose is removal of poverty. How these three are interlinked? Environment, sustainable growth, and removal of poverty. In the next slide, we are going to link these three aspects. Keep in mind, environmental aspect, that is natural resources on one side, development for the economic purpose, economic betterment of the population. Development is also essential, but that too sustainable development. And all when these two comes together, then removal of poverty. If not, the today's situation, what it explains, they are interacting each other. If we took the development, it affects on environment. If you are unable to develop, poverty remains there and it affects in the other way on the environment. So this situation is very critical around the globe, and therefore this situation is like this. You can observe environment on top level. It gives us resources, n number of resources for our livelihood, our development. But this resource comes to the technology in the hand of technology. Technology comes to in the hand of man, and today we are observing there is a inverse relationship between this technology, how it is hampering to or how it is adversely affecting on resources. The same way, this man, after using technology in his hand, it creating a number of waste. Plastic waste is one of the example, as our former Vice Chancellor explained in this one. And this plastic waste or other waste is directly impacting on environment. So this cycle is continuously going on, and people are doing a number of researches, as Professor Godke sir has explained about what type of research they are doing to protect our environment. So well-being is another concept. On one side, environment, and now I am highlighting what are the major pros and cons of these environmental issues as far as well-being is concerned. What is the concept of well-being? When we are talking about concept of well-being, the simple way of understanding this well-being concept, as Aristotle said, he always talked about the great philosopher, that there are two types of life on the earth. As per Aristotle, I am talking about Aristotle's view. That is, one is moral life. We are always speaking about various moralness, moral thoughts. Why it is essential? It is essential for our happiness. Therefore, Aristotle told us that the moral happiness or moral life is very important to live in a society. And another is, same time, another useful only material life. Whatever our basic needs, either it is water, either it is land, either it is food, either it is air, whatever we use, that is covered by nature, that is called a material life. These two are very important. Here the role is man, that is developed man, or we can call it economic man, is very important. What is done or what is doing around us? You see this land degradation scenario. Here I quote the example of Pune city. The climate of Pune city before 30 years is very cool, calm. As we know, that is a pensioner city. But when the Pune city surrounded by the hillocks, it was totally disturbed in the last 20 to 30 years, and it becomes a concrete jungle. And this concrete forest, what it created, development, no doubt, to some extent it is created development, it generated employment to the youth, that is also there. But at the same time, the very important big issues around us is inequality. You see here, multi-story buildings are there, at the same time slums are there. And another very meager situation of our life, not all in India, but it is a global scenario, home of disadvantaged population, where they are living, how they are living. So therefore, the another scholar, John Stuart Mill, in case of well-being, he used the term utility. Utility means whatever available to us, we have to share to each and everyone. Utility is important one, ethical, moral, intellectual also, and last but not least, as per John Stuart Mill, the political voice is very important. So today, today's government, central government is doing one thing for the removal of poverty reduction in our country, that he is always talking about rural transformation, and that is big issue today's scenario, how it is possible to transform the entire rural area into livelihood, then energy consumption, good water quality for drinking purpose, these all things. Whenever we are doing all these things, the World Bank always insists us to do all these things, but we are financing you, but you have to accept all these things. The World Bank Group Environmental Strategy 2012 to 22 lays an ambitious agenda to support. What World Bank is supporting, on one side they are giving finance to us, loan to us. At the same time, they are telling us, go for green culture, go for clean culture, go for resilient, pass for developing countries, a country like us. Because, again, the same issue, poverty reduction and development is an increasingly fragile environment. The environment also is a very outstanding one, and it gives green, clean, and resilient. Then these things are important. One more global institute, environmental strategy of World Bank and International Finance Corporation. Again, multilateral investment guarantee agencies recognizes that while there has been notable progress in reducing global poverty, they accept developing countries are doing well to reduce the poverty. At the same time, we are not able to control the environmental in a sustainable manner. These are the observations of this World Bank environmental strategy, and therefore these developing countries still need rapid growth to reduce poverty over the next decade. The global environment has reached a critical state. So therefore, as far as this remark given by these institutions, and today's this corona pandemic situation has affected negative situation on migrant worker, IT sector, industry. Lakhs of people have lost their jobs. Why it happens? It happens because of poverty situation, because of environmental degradation. This corona has created havoc in our country as well as global issue. So therefore, this pandemic situation is still worsening. So how it is reaching to the poor people? As we know, these two institutions are forcing to the government of any developing country, in our country also, that we are trying to best sustainable management of the environment resources for economic growth and well-being. What is there? Earlier we are observing, and still in rural areas, people are having such type of chula to cook the food. This is the situation in our country. Right? That is called the indoor air pollution or outdoor air pollution. Or as far as rural population is concerned, I am talking this one. What the central government is doing today, we know under the title of Rural Transformation Scheme, government is providing this Prime Minister Ujjwala Gas Scheme to marginalize the section, BPL families, that is below poverty families, to uplift them, to take their care of health, and therefore they are providing free gas to the population. These are the three important concepts of sustainable development and well-being. Number one is healthy environment, then economic growth and social justice. That is called sustainable society. In nutshell, it is called a sustainable society. Now coming to the last part of my lecture, that is 25th, 15, we know that is Sustainable Development Goals were published by the UN, and they are also again talking about to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all. It is the agenda. Those who are interested to do research as a social scientist, they concentrate these three important aspects. In few slides, I am also touching these important things. Okay. There are 17 goals and 169 targets that the International Advocacy Program Development and the UN 2030 agenda, we can call. Some of which are related to this present conference, I am going to highlight that very few of them are. Before that, what Thangvel Palnival, Deputy Director of Human Development Office, that is UNDP, what in one report he told that, please read this carefully, when countries have a greater share of people who can work, save, and pay taxes, they have the potential to transform their economies and power investment in healthcare, education, and other building blocks of future prosperity. Very important report UNDP has published, and the Deputy Director has said that we people are doing best. We work, we earn money, we save money, we pay tax to the government, but we are not getting return as far as we are expecting as a well-being of society. So well-being of the society, when we are expecting, it is essential that investment in healthcare, education, and other things are very important. In today's pandemic situation, we are totally failed as far as healthcare situation is concerned. Today, we are not getting oxygen cylinders, and people are dying because of non-availability of these oxygen cylinders. This is a scenario. And again, you see that healthcare facilities in our country, in our state also, so it is advanced state in our country, but still the situation is not up to the mark as far as healthcare is concerned. Coming to the next one, education system. As the expert in the morning sessions, Vice Chancellor told us, the new education policy is announced by the government, and this new education policy is highlighted knowledge, skill. These two important things they are expecting to us, and in future we are having the research in universities only. So those who are interested, please keep in mind and do some work regarding these three. So today's conference on environment, what are the issues today? We are not getting clean water and sanitation. Here we focus the research area. Examples are n number of examples. Ujni water, take the Solapur district. We are having for drinking purpose Ujni water, that is Bhima River. But the situation is very worse. N number of reports were published by the agencies, but not taken care by the government, and we are drinking polluted water. And therefore, if you correlate the drinking water and the health issue of the population of among the Solapur city, also we have to do this research in this area. Affordable and clean energy. This is another issue. That is clean energy. We are talking about green energy, solar energy, wind energy. We have to promote all these things. Coming to the next one, decent work and economic growth. Unless and until we have work culture and economic development, otherwise poverty upliftment is not possible to any government. The important one is Professor Godke sir and Malda sir is also important, and new education policy is also expecting from us that we have to highlight industry sector, innovation and infrastructure. Now they are interlinking industry, innovation culture in university, that is research university is maybe in coming years we are observing such change. Responsible and consumption for production, clean climate action, life on land and life below water. These are the issues where we can do some research and put proposal to the UGC or ICSR or even DST. So therefore, this sustainable development goals, what they do, the 5 P's are very important. People, the well-being of all people, particularly marginalized sections of the society. Planet, protection of the Earth's ecosystem. Prosperity, continued economic and technological growth. Peace, securing peace. Now it is one of the important agenda. We are having everything with us, but we are in search of peace. Partnership, improving international cooperation. In our NAC, we are having MOU, then mutual understanding, collaborations. This comes here. These 5 aspects are interdependent, and therefore the Sustainable Development Goals demand. What it demand? Integrated thinking. Nowadays, this conference, we are talking about integrated, that is interdisciplinary approach we are having. Not only geography, not only economics, not only sociology do alone the best. But when these 3-4 disciplines come together and have a common issue regarding environment and well-being, definitely we will do some very important research work. As a social scientist, we must keep in mind we always live in society, and society-oriented, integrated thinking approach we must develop in our research, and that is very important. The important dimensions of well-being, I'm not going to explain all these things. Income and wealth. Income disparity, wealth disparity we are having. Economics people are very well known about this. Work and job quality. Work is there, but quality of job is questionable. It relates to the economic development. Housing. Nowadays, we are having the central government is announcing Pantapradhan Awas Yojana to the poverty below people families, and to some extent in the village level and in urban areas or huts. Wealth issues. This PM Jan Dhan Yojana is boosting the people, poor people, to come and share your also contribution to the nation building. Knowledge and skill. You might know that this National Skill Quality Framework or Qualification Framework is another institution run by the central government. They are giving courses to the institution to develop the knowledge of the student, and not only knowledge, along with skill. And environment quality regarding the health issues concerned. We know it, in what quality we are living in our Sholapur, in Pune, Bangalore, Delhi. That quality of the environment is very important. Well-being, subjective well-being, what it means? If a person is well-being, when you see the minimum requirement, that is roti, kapda or makan, then only to some extent we are satisfied. Safety, particularly safety of women. Now it is questionable. We are having a number of issues around us, and gender community, people are talking about the safety, work-life balance, social network, social engagements. These two, social network and social engagements, that is connectivity to the social areas, which is very less in our situation. We are not in contact with the social population. I observed that very few professors are involved in social NGOs. They are not attached with these social NGOs, those who are doing to best to uplift the poverty of the population. So hereafter, we have to concentrate these two. Social network. What is social network? Social network is the connectedness, connectivity to the social population and relationship. That is very important, and it is missing today. And therefore, this issue comes to this one. Now, what is the future of well-being? Natural capital, ecosystem services. Natural capital means whatever available to us that grown by nature. It is called natural capital, that is called ecosystem services. Then human capital, I just now discussed about skill, knowledge, experience. Economic capital, income, saving, intellectual property. In the morning, Maldar sir has explained about the patent to where we stand at a global level. That is a questionable. Social capital, I just now explained about relationship among people in society. So these are the global issues. I'm not touching all these things. Benefits of economic growth, in nutshell, keeping an environment, higher income, reduced poverty, then better education, increased life expectancy, improved government finance. What is important? When we grow, develop ourselves, these are the other sectors which develop automatically. But this development, we keep in mind, it must be in sustainable manner. Efforts to protect environment, that is green energy. It is one of the example of in Africa, Great Green Wall. In Africa, now this movement is started, and one of the important Great Green Wall is now being implemented in Africa, around 20 countries across Africa, and this $8 billion have been established to develop. You see the image of these two. This is barren land totally, and after the concept implemented, the Great Green Wall, now this situation is like this. Purposefully, these African countries are doing this effort, and it is one of the model to us. One of the Nobel Prize winner, Mathai, that is Vanzari Mathai, he is awarded in 2004 environmental award, and she did one of the latest work in the field of social forestry and environment. In our country, we are having a number of movements. Ishnavi movement in Rajasthan, Chipko in Chameli, Save Silent Valley in Kerala, Jungle Bachos, Bihar. So last, putting the environment at the heart of the people's life, that is very important. We people must keep in mind that it is our responsibility to keep environment clean and nice. This is one of the quote given by the international authority, CCAFS, climate change, agriculture, and food security. If we enable, because 65% people are in rural areas, if we enable rural farmers to innovate and use climate smart practices, we are doing technologically well, but that technology not 100% reaching to the farmers. If it is possible, it is not only hunger and poverty that will decline automatically if we smart climate practice. Economic growth increases, jobs are created, and climate change's grip on our food supply will loosen. So this is the concluding quote given by. What is important as far as this total concern is concerned, well-being is concerned, if we come together, we act together, we sustainably manage the environment and natural resources is vital for economic growth and human well-being. It is essential to act together. Otherwise, the future is like this. We keep oxygen cylinders in our back and to travel here and there. So, thank you one and all. Think Green, Go Green management of the Solapur Jilla Samaj Mandal, my colleague, my friend, Principal Vanje sir, and all committee members, delegates, and all participants. Thank you one and all once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Advitor sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Advitor sir. Participants, if you want to ask any questions to Dr. Advitor sir, you may feel free to ask the questions.
No question, sir.
नाही त्यांना आवाज ऐकू ना सर.
आवाज आहे ना.
ऐकू येते म्हणजे सर.
आवाज
येतोय व्हॉइस.
येतोय आवाज येतोय.